Well, hello everyone. It is time for eSeniors Championship again. Now, I was going to say GT3, but today it is not GT3. It is Porsche Cup at NURBURGRING. And everybody remember, sim racing is an auto sport, so that makes us athletes. eSeniors are 50-year-old plus sim racers, and today is Season 8, Race 2. At Nürburgring, and there is a slight rain today. With me today is the infamous Brad Mears. Brad, say hello.
Are you sure it's not famous, Mike?
No, let's say infamous.
Yeah, well, you're right about the rain, and there's been some consternation here during the week of practice, right? So everybody's on the wet tires, but are they going to hold up, have some extreme heat on them? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, some people are thinking about switching over to the dries, possibly on a pit stop if the track dries out. Some interesting questions around here, I think, at Nürburgring today.
Yeah, so let's go straight. Let me do the transition over here. Let's go straight to the standings. Excuse me. Only one race in, but in first place is Mircea Parnov. And number 2 is Steve Young, Sky 94. Number 3 is Chris Bourne. Derek Bird is in 4th, and Chris Moses is in 5th. The usual players here, the usual old aliens, I'll call them, and ancient aliens. Oh, that sounds better. Ancient aliens, and everybody is here today. We've got a 15-car grid. Let me see, 14-car grid, and so this is our standings for today. So that's great. Now I'm going to go over to switch over into the race here. So yeah, we got a little bit of new software again this week. So I'm going to make sure I've got the right gaps in there. Go ahead, talk a little bit about Nürburgring, Brad.
Yeah, it's more or less technical sections. There are slow technical sessions, but you know, the fast bits of the track are also kind of technical too. You have to be pretty spot on. There's some blind apexes and blind out track situations here. Now, the majority, these guys aren't going to have a problem with it. They've gotten plenty of practice in it, even in the wet. They know where to position the car and everything. But there are a few places you have to take risks around here also if you expect to get a good lap time. One of those being kind of the final chicane there, the penultimate, I guess you could say, a set of corners before you come into the last. And there's just some sections that you have to take chances. The high-speed chicane there.
Yeah.
Coming on sort of a back straight, well, these cars, they don't like to turn all that much, and so it's going to be a game of patience, patient aggressiveness, let's say, coming through those that high-speed sweeper there to really make sure that the front end gets nice grip and you can turn it down in there to get good acceleration off. I mean, after all, that's where you get the speed from, right, is in those acceleration zones.
Yeah, good. So we have a little bit of a different startup procedure today because Jeremy is not, has got a power problems in Montreal. There's some tornadoes and nasty storms in Montreal, so he was unable to join us. So the start might be a little bit different. It's just going to kind of flip over at some point around noon, let's hope. The slightly wet race, I guess is what we should call it. Didn't have too much of an effect on, who are we watching here? That was Sylvain Dessart just going off on somebody else who's on track. Let you guys watch. There's Laszlo. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I didn't find it in the Ferrari car that it affected that much slippage, if you want to call it, coming around corners. You had a little bit more careful, but it wasn't too bad. It's just a little different, and the times are a little bit slower, but easy to adjust. How did you find? You didn't race in Ferrari, did you?
No, I haven't run the Ferrari. I'm in the Evo 2, the Lambo Evo 2 here this season, and no, you're absolutely right. It's just a question of being a little bit more patient, right? Making sure that you have primarily the front end grip. If you get that right, then you can generally set up for that acceleration zone on the out track. I think for me personally, that's the whole situation with kind of the slippery conditions is to just make sure you get the front end settled at the apex, and then you can kind of figure it out from there.
Everybody was freaking out a little bit when they heard there were going to be a couple of rain races, but we decided just to
Yeah.
make it slight rain, I guess, just enough. We don't need demolition derby. It's going to be interesting to see how these Porsche Cup cars are going to react, though.
Yeah, well, the only thing about the semi-wet conditions, I think, really are the tires, and it looks like we're about to start.
I think,
here.
yeah, I think this is up. Let's see who gets out first.
But I did want to go back real quickly to the championship you were talking about, and that very close. Of course, it's only through the first round, right? But Mike, there are only 8 rounds, and
Yep.
and considering that you drop a round, we're looking at 7 rounds of championship, and boy, one mistake, one DNF can really cost a guy through those 7 rounds. And so I was kind of thinking about that. Every race kind of matters for these guys,
That was one of the reasons why the admin board went to 8 races, and with a 1 drop, because hey, it's more fun to kind of reset and see if everybody can get into the action.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Very good point.
Yeah, we talked about 10. I guess usually it's 10, but 8 doesn't sound like that much different, but it is quite a bit different, really. So we're following on with Chris Moses. I think he's the first guy out. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Chris Moses looked like he was running just a little bit off the top times. Look for high 2-minute 3s, I would say, in the qualifying session here. Who knows? These guys always tend to surprise, so maybe they'll go a little lower. But that's what I was seeing, was high 03s.
Oh yeah, 03s. What was I going to say? We should, in the software here now, we should be seeing gaps to the fastest time. And it doesn't actually show the fastest time if I remember, so I'll have to announce that every once in a while. But Chris is definitely the first guy out. So the helicam for him.
Let's see, and we have the game sound going, I assume.
Yes, I hope so. Let me just take a check. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah. Sounds like I'm on the YouTube. Everything is volume is better. Yeah, I had to boost your volume a little bit so everybody's happy on YouTube. We've got 5 people watching here. Don't recognize the name. I know Mr. Woes is one of our guys, but I forget who that is.
Yeah, well, thanks for those that have tuned in. We appreciate it, and the guys on track appreciate it.
Well, thank you for being co-commenting. It's a lot more fun when you can talk to somebody instead of talking to yourself.
Sure, no problem. I'm happy to be in the virtual booth.
Yeah, right. And this, so he has posted a time. We'll look to see Zimmer has got a time. Let me take a look. No, I don't think he's posted one yet. Is he done around?
Yeah, still, just now starting hot laps.
There's some of those times posted. I think Zimmer. On my screen where the best times are. I don't think I've seen any yet. Still the first guy out is Chris, so he should be posting the first time.
Yeah, I'm watching Chris right now, and he's looking pretty tidy. Whoa, had a big slide there at the hairpin, but that's to be expected. You're gonna have to modulate that throttle a bit.
He's going around the square motion there on my screen. That's what I've got on the screen too.
Yeah, there are opportunities to pass here, Mike, but of course you always want to qualify as far up as you can.
Get one lap
to avoid
in too. Yeah, you want to get one lap in early too. We only got 11 minutes left.
That's right.
Short corner.
Yeah, and a longish track, right? So you're running qualifying minutes of 2 minutes per. Well, you better get after it.
Yeah, he's coming up down to the last of the corners.
Yeah, really clean to the chicane.
I'm seeing wobbly on him on the screen, but I think that might be net code for him. It can't be that bad.
Oh, well, we know Moses had problems with that.
There he goes. There he goes. Now he's got the first time in. And his time is 2:04.162. And then Derek just beat, no, that was Derek's time. He's on the top of the leaderboard now. And so he's up by 0.2 of a second. Why is that not showing that well on the screen? They're all showing zeros. I don't know if that's working that well. So the board is correct. Oh yeah, there it's updating. It's going all over the place, isn't it? What I'm showing here is Jonathan Wood is in first place now with 2:03.36.
Yeah, that's a really good opening salvo.
Yeah, that tower timing on the screen does not look very good. Oh, you know what it's showing? Sorry, it's not showing to the best time. It's showing to the personal best of the person. So let's see if I can find the actual qualification best. Look like it has that. Session best? Let's see if that's the right one. That looks like the right one. There we go. What I will do is I will rotate it between that time and so we can talk away there. I'm going to set something really fancy here.
While you do that, we could see that Jonathan Wood, Derek Bird not advancing too much on their times. Chris Moses, however, in the third P3 at the moment, up nearly half a second now, so he's also making a charge into the 2:03s. If he can hold it together. Again, really nice through the chicane. Coming up to the last corner now. 7/10 ahead on his time. So yeah, definitely going to be a good 2:03 here for Chris Moses. Likely going to jump Derek Bird for second.
So now
and indeed,
go ahead.
Does, yeah.
Okay.
4/10 over P1. Off of P1, excuse me.
Krister is actually having one of his better.
Yeah, big advance, and he needs it, frankly, well off the pace right now for Krister.
He just posted his time there, so he's in ninth place. Now my tower on the stream should be changing to every once in a while to personal bests. So right now it's on the times for everybody, but we'll get some gaps here at some point.
You know, a lot of times in these qualifying sessions, you want to go ahead and gas for quite a few laps. The tires tend to hold up, but you know, in these conditions, Mike, your second or third lap may be the best opportunity you get because the tires, they overheat and you do start to lose some adhesion. So a couple guys, Jonathan Wood, Derek Bird, taking an extra lap, and it didn't work out for them. They both had to get back to the garage, try to get a new set of shoes on there, tool them down. Yeah.
I was able in the GT3 car to maintain a good 20, you know, the good in a good window, but man, the tires are so cold, it's unbelievable. Eh?
Sure. Well, the wets, of course, when you're pushing them hard, will.
Oh, were you using wets? Were you using wets?
Yes.
Everybody else in GT3 was using slicks because the wets just blew up basically.
Oh boy.
So the wets.
I'm gonna have to revisit my.
Go ahead.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
So you can get good pressures on the wets, but your tire temperatures just are blue. I don't know if I looked. I think I saw like 70 degrees C or something. But yeah, you got to try the slicks.
Okay.
So let's see who's got a personal best going. Thomas Rainier is up by 4/10 on his time. And who else? Sylvain in fourth place is up 3/10. That would, I'll put Sylvain up here. He puts his name as Sylvain. It's Sylvain Dessard, and he puts his name up as D. Sylvain there on the tower. He just lost his time. So we got Thomas is up 3/10 of a second. That will bring him. That won't get him much. He's quite a bit behind fourth place, so I don't think that'll improve him too much.
Yeah, also on the back foot. So he's, a couple guys really looking to improve here. So, you know, some of the guys you would expect to be up there, a little off at the moment.
But Jonathan Wood at the top of the tower, he did not qualify that well last week, did he? If I remember. No, he didn't qualify. He's improving his time a little bit. You can all see on the stream. That's about it though. Nobody's really burning it up right now. So this might be our board.
Yeah, I think a lot of people got good first laps
Yeah,
in, and,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and now you just start taking your chances, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Yeah, that's
see
true.
if you can't get something in. But I mean, Jonathan does look the most prepared, or at least the got in the the luckiest lap, maybe, or I don't know, but well out in front at the moment in terms of qualifying pace.
You know who's way down there? Steve Young. Steve Young is in second last place at the moment. He's off by 3 seconds, so he might. He's gonna have to try and get a lap in. Let's see what. Take a peek at what's going on with his car.
Yeah, I wonder if Steve Young has run into some traffic problems, or maybe made a mistake on one of his laps to be that far off.
Looks like he's got somebody in front of him there. Right.
He does, but boy, Mike, you make a mistake, you get caught up in traffic, you lose a few laps, and that pressure really starts to ramp up. It can really get in your head.
Yeah.
It's easy to overdrive.
Who is that ahead of him? 2, 4. Is it Howard? Yeah, it's Howard right ahead of him. Anything happening on the board at the top? Nope, nothing much. Everybody's Chris Moses is up by a little bit. Maybe we'll follow him. Where is he in his lap? Just coming around. He's up by 2/10. That won't get him there though. Let's see what time he posts. Oh, very close. 3,000th of a second off the podium. It's a good thing this software goes to the thousands. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a big jump up for Chris Moses,
Yeah.
and that's gonna make him happy. And still a few laps left here to continue to improve on that.
Lots of time yet.
And you know what? In fact, through the early portions of this lap, he is advancing on his time.
Yeah. Oh, looks like he wrecked his time though. But Merce's got a time going. He's up by 2/10 right now. Is he in his lap? It's early on in his lap. 2/10 would get him fourth at least.
Well, and it's another guy that you would expect to make a big advance up the field, right?
Yeah, Moses is showing. Oh, purple might. I got purple on my screen, so that might mean it's his best time. Yeah, he's up by 3/10, I think, 4/10.
Yeah.
He's gonna make a
Yeah.
he's gonna make a push for podium. That's for sure. Let's go on board with him now. Let's just go
All
in.
about holding it together. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go in the cockpit for fun. He's up by 1/10 right now. He lost some of his time there. I think that purple on my screen here and the stat screen means he's pushing for pole. 3/10. Yeah, he's gonna make it, I think. Not too much to go yet. Not too much in terms of danger.
Yeah,
Only 1/10 now, but he doesn't need much. He doesn't need anything hardly, as long as he's up by something. 3/1000ths of a second.
Oh, he's really good through that chicane.
Oh, he just lost a little bit there. I don't know if he's gonna make it or not. It's flipping back and forth on my screen. He did. He made it by 15,000th of a second. He's gonna pack it in. It's too much for him. He can't handle it. His heart rate's gone too high.
Meanwhile, a little further back, Zimmer there in 9th, looking to advance his time a little bit. He's going to need quite a bit to move up into that 8th spot. Nemeth as well there in 8th. Lost a little bit of time here, but still looking to advance his time also. He needs very little, actually, there in 8th to take over Larson's spot.
Yeah. Zimmer. See it. Yeah, I had a guest watching me here, and it's just left. Should have got him on screen.
So Steve Young, sorry Mike, Steve Young did make a big advance here, jumping all the way up to P8 from down there at the bottom of the list. So Steve Young finally got a lap in for himself.
Yeah, very good, very good. But we all know this is going to be a race. Yeah, Zimmer is actually, he just lost all his time as I hit him. We all know this race is just going to be a race of attrition, I think. Although not everybody's all over the place, so as I said that, Merche just went off.
Yeah, you could be right. Boy, Moses and Wood really do seem to have separated themselves a little bit from the field. Ooh, Wood is up on his time at the moment, so he's looking to take back the top spot.
And so is Sylvain. Sylvain's up in his time by 2/10 of a second. That'll
Yeah,
get him. Won't get him very far though. It's quite a bit of difference between third and fourth.
yeah, but second, third, and fourth all posting good times out there on the track right now, ahead of what they had already posted.
Derek's up by 2/10 of a second. That'll get him. It won't get him into second. How much time have we got left? This is it. This will be last lap. Qualifying time is over.
Oh, Moses. Big slide off the last corner. That's going to do it for him. He's done.
Yeah, he's pushing. They're pushing hard now. Derek is up 3/10 on his time, but that's not going to get him enough. It's not going to be enough. Sylvain is behind him. He's up 2/10. What will that get him? That won't get him into third place either. So I think our podium is set. Oh, he's up 6/10 now. That might get him something. Yeah, he's going to be pushing for. Let's just jump on with Sylvain here. Sylvain is going to make a push for podium here with this one, this lap. Last
Also
corner.
good through the chicane. Oh, big jump up.
Yes. He's going to be. He got into third. That was a big gap there that he maintained. That was a great lap on his part, wasn't it?
Derek Bird right behind, I
Yep.
think, is going to reclaim that spot.
I think so too. There he goes. Look at that. I love this last lap stuff. Last lap stuff is great, isn't it? Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. Very nice. I'm going to go to the intro screen here just for fun. Because it's all over the place when you... the screen's all over the place when in between. So yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna have to. You can talk for a bit. I gotta set up a grid walk here.
Sure, so I'm sure Sylvain there, momentarily taking over third, had to have been pretty happy, smiling to himself when he crossed that line, only to be usurped there, as it were, by Derek Bird, coming through the final corner just after Sylvain. So Derek Bird's going to take that third place. Yeah, you know, we have a few tight gaps. There are some that have opened up between individual drivers. There are some very tight times. I mean, we see that just 5/1000ths between pole and second place there, Jonathan Wood, Chris Moses and Jonathan Wood. So we'll see if gaps tend to open up during the race. We suspect that they probably will. 14 entrants, so not a huge grid today. But I think Mike's right. I think it is going to be a race of attrition, and consistency is just going to count for so much around this place. I think over the race, and probably, honestly, it could come down to the most consistent driver toward the end really picking up the most spots, because it's hard in these conditions, and particularly with the tire wear, to hold those consistent times. So it's going to count for quite a bit around here, as opposed to just raw speed. But as you know, if you can hold both, well, you're going to come away with a pretty good spot by the end of the race. So it's Merce Parnov. I'm going to get my pronunciations correct at some point.
It's pretty
there
good.
in
Parnov,
fifth.
I think, is pretty close. Yeah.
Uh-huh. You still getting things sorted there, Mike?
Yeah. Still getting things sorted.
Mm-hmm. So it's Rainier there in sixth place. We'll, I'm sure, run down the order here again, as it were. Steve Young actually did crawl off the bottom of the pile there, being piled on, I guess it could be said. Made a nice run up into eighth. Also, Zimmer improved his time from his start of the qualifying session, so he came up there too. Krister perhaps did slip back a little bit there from the start of that session toward the end. He's going to be starting 11th. So, but some of the main guys to watch out for are going to be, of course, in the top spots. But you know, if we do talk about that consistency, I think we can look at Panov there in fifth, and I have to say Larson back there in seventh, a bit of a surprise to me. I would have expected him to run a bit better time maybe than he did, but talk about consistency. He's one of them. So I think he would have a good chance to advance over the course of this race, despite that qualifying time being only 7th best.
All right, I am ready here for the grid walk. There, let's just make sure we get the right person here. Did I get the right thing here going? Hold on. Thought I had the grid walk working.
Well,
I've got the names up, but not the camera. So we'll just go through the grid. Jonathan Wood from the U.S., Derek Bird from. Just wait for one little thing here. There we go. Now we're going to get the people. Let's go back. Let's go back to the beginning there. There we go. So we've got podium Chris Moses. Next is Jonathan Wood, and we'll see them. Derek Bird's on top there. And next is Sylvain Dessard. Now we'll be able to see it here. We'll see their liveries a little bit better. Let me change cameras to see if there's a good view. Let's go back to see everybody's nice liveries. So there we are. Chris Moses at the top. Next is Jonathan Wood in the blue car. And next is Derek Bird. No, Derek Bird's in the blue car, sorry. That is Sylvain Dessart in another red Porsche. Merche in his usual cherry red. Thomas Rainier in the nice blue stripes. That's a very nice looking, not a nice looking Martini livery. Next is Patrick Larson. I don't have his livery. I did sync yesterday. Steve Young in his usual green and white car, Sky 194. Follow him on YouTube. Laszlo Nemeth in one of the orange ones. We have a couple of orange ones. He's the one with the major white streak. Randy Zimmer's the other 11. Traditional Porsche livery. Christer Hort. He is in that very nice livery. He's got one very special one, I think, with the Merche livery. Those are his Netherlands, or Sweden, sorry, different Swedish companies. Next is Willie Owens. Nice to see Willie on track. He almost decided to leave. He's in a traditional Porsche livery also, but what a yellow one. Terry Howard and Bob Laycock in a black livery with, what is that? The All Blacks. I believe that is he is from Australia or New Zealand. I forget which flag that is. That is a rugby team. All right, so we're back to the right stream here. I got to get the tower up. I think I do have the tower up. Switch to a different setup for the tower. Go ahead, Brad, if you're there.
Sure. So you talked a little bit about Willie Owens. Now, he didn't qualify maybe particularly great, but I think if you were to ask him that he would be able to go ahead and hold down 12th, that, he might have taken it. He was pretty despondent a little bit, had a chance to chat with him, and he's way more positive now. Got a little bit a little bit of motivation, let's say, from a couple guys, and I think it really improved his attitude. So I'm excited about that. So pressure ramping up now, lining up side by side, coming through the last chicane. Final preparations underway, but the preparation is mainly okay. Let's just be careful. And speaking of being careful, tough first
lap one's coming up. Yeah,
Mike.
turn corner one's coming up. Let's be careful. Yeah, let's be careful out there.
So easy to get the braking wrong going here into one tight corner.
We've got a great view from the helicopter for this track. Corner
Green
one.
light, give it
Here we
a
go.
go.
Green light, we're racing. So it looks like Chris is going to maintain. Jonathan in second, but third is up for grabs. Derek is in the blue car. But I think Merche and Sylvain are pushing him, and he looks like he lost a couple of positions there. No, he's going to come up in fourth, which is his normal, which is where he qualified. You're going to see on the tower on the stream, it's going to flip over to gaps every once in a while.
Yeah, speaking of being very careful, very clean through turn one, and so far through the first few corners. So everybody's on their P's, minding their P's and Q's here. Very good.
Yep. Oh, they're making a push for Moses and Jonathan. So Jonathan took the lead there. There he goes. They're going to be very careful for the next little while, I'm sure.
Yeah, and it was Zimmer making a very nice move there on Christopher for the 10th spot early. Okay, already I would say a little settled in. Already, I think these guys are already just trying to manage their pace, get a feel for the track. Though, as we talk, Sylvain is making a move on Moses.
Yeah, it's not settled yet. The top four are just right close to each other. Playing with the... Oh, there goes a pylon. Oh yeah, these first four guys are just five guys. There's Merche's not far behind. And I'm going to go into some cockpits here for fun.
Yeah, I think Derek Bird might be a good one as he is challenging now Sylvain for that third place. Couldn't quite get it done.
No.
Had to check up on the
Gonna try again. Oh, looks like he went wide. And he got it. Oh no, he's still hanging in there. Let's hold on.
You know, there is decent speed there to be gotten on the outside of turn one, so that helped out Sylvain there.
Yes.
Yeah, inside line there, not necessarily always the fastest. There,
You see, everybody had a little wiggle there. They're all getting a little anxious on the throttle. They all had a wiggle there, and back ends took off on them. They'll be a little bit more careful in this. Looks like Bird's making another move. Looks like Sylvain went wide. Derek's gonna get him, I think. No, he didn't again. Wow. He had the inside line there, didn't he? Went behind the trees. We didn't see exactly what happened.
Yeah, there are quite a few of these corners where you can hold good speed on the outside. So, oh, Moses has an off.
Yeah, a little bit. He was able to hold on. And Sylvain had a wiggle when he hit the throttle a little bit.
I think Moses must have been happy to see third and fourth kind of battling, allowed him to get a little bit of breathing room, but Moses a little unsettled himself, so still the cork in the bottle.
He went a little wide there. There's Derek. Derek's really got a lot of juice there. He's gonna make some moves, I think. But these five guys that we have on screen are just side by side, or just nose to tail, and not far behind everybody else.
Yeah, that's right. Heck of a battle going on right now over Kenneth Zimmer, Hoyt, and Howard. They're nose to tail as well, coming through the last part of the track here.
He's got where they've started from from the start. Woods is up one. Everybody else is up one, down one. Larson's down a couple, and Howard's up two. That's the best guy there.
Oh no, Zimmer, huge mistake coming through the chicane now. He's dropped all the way back to the field. Tried to hold it together, got on the grass, just couldn't do it. Spun all the way into the pit lane. Now he's reversing to get back out on track. So huge mistake for Zimmer.
I'll do if I can go back far enough, and I didn't quite go back far enough to catch that. Yeah, sorry about that. We'll get that. Back to real time there now.
Pit window is opening.
All right, pit window's open. This is a 50-minute race today, and a mandatory pit stop. So Jonathan and Chris have opened up a slight gap. But these next 4 guys from 3rd to 6th are just, well, the rest of the field basically really is all in one spot.
Yeah, they're really close with the exception of back there toward 10th. They had a bit of a kerfuffle with SIMGRID going off. But you know, there's not too big a gap between Wood and Moses.
Nope.
However,
Nope.
an 0.40, 04 flat for Jonathan Wood, and 0.6 one for Moses. So I don't know. That gap may be opening up quickly.
Oh, Derek went wide. Derek went wide, and Thomas got ahead of him, or Murche did, but Derek's coming back. He doesn't have the spot yet, unless he shuts him off. Nah, looked like Murche got it there. Yeah, so that was a little bit of a Derek going wide more than Murche. But Derek, see now Derek's going to come back again. Right behind him, Steve Young and Thomas or Ringier are in a good battle.
Yeah, Young picking up. Yeah, Young picking up one spot so far from qualifying.
Oh, looks like Rainier and Young had an issue. Let's see if I can catch that. I'm gonna go back 30 seconds here this time and see what happened. On board with Thomas, there was some issue between these 2 guys. They tap. Oh, yep. Steve Young. Not too bad though. Looks like Patrick Larson is the guy who. There we go. We're back in live. Looks like Patrick was the guy who benefited from that. Oh no, it was Laszlo. Sorry, Laszlo's in 6th place. So Laszlo was the guy who benefited from that little incident.
Yeah, and where did he start? Wasn't he back there in 8th or 9th?
I'll show you the position deltas.
Yeah, I could be wrong. I thought he
There
had
we go.
started a little further back. So it'd be interesting to see how far he moved up the field.
You're talking about Thomas?
Laszlo.
Laszlo. Where is he? Oh, there we are. Yeah, he's up 3. Up 3. There we go.
Yeah, I thought he.
So he's actually the leader in terms of going. Take the replay mode off. That's not replay anymore. All right, so where are we here? Let's just walk down from cockpit view because I love watching that in terms of what they're seeing in their own race cars. So that's Jonathan is in lead. Chris Moses can't even see him because he is up by how much? 4 seconds. Sylvain Dessart can barely see Chris Moses. And Murche is looking at the back end of Sylvain.
Yeah,
Next
that gap is
next
between first. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
First and second that gap is opening up quite a bit. Moses did hold his own on the lap prior, but give up quite a bit that last lap. I'm thinking.
Everybody is opening up slight lap, a little bit gaps here in the second time frame, except for Thomas is quite on top of Laszlo here. That is the closest gap, except for Terry Howard on Krister. Let's give these guys a little bit of airtime.
Yeah, he has been close the last 2 or 3 laps.
Love Krister's livery. Can't say too much about Terry's though. I don't know if I don't have it or if he doesn't have it. He's got a line in there. I don't think that's a standard livery. Come on, Terry. You got to pick up the pace. Got a good livery going here. Talk to Nikos. It looks like. Oh! Look at that. Oh, I'm glad we caught that. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. Now he's gonna lose a lot of time because of that. But I don't know if that was a Krister break. You know what that means is Willie is up now on him. So
Well, he's got him within shouting distance.
Yes, he does. All right, let's go back up here to Murche and Sylvain are hot and heavy with each other here. And so is Thomas on Laszlo. So there's a couple battles that we've got some possibilities on.
Yeah, Murche 2/10 faster that last lap, so a little easier sometimes to follow and gain that lap time. Let's see if he can get past how his lap times hold up. That perspective change can be a little different. Oh, big slide here by Sylvain. Murche is going to get ahead.
Oh, just went in front of Derek there. Back a little bit.
Yeah, Bird going to have a good line into one, and I think he's going to get it done here. Not much opportunity, I don't think, for Sylvain to get on that.
Oh, but he's lost that spot. He's hot and heavy, but he just... Oh, off again. Nah, that's not going to work.
Oh, boy.
And another one.
Yeah.
So let's watch it. Laszlo also had an off. Let's just follow. I'm going to go back. Again, 30 seconds. I didn't go back far enough. That's a pain.
Well, I talked a little bit about that consistency, Mike, and we're seeing it. The guys that are going to be able to stay on track and hold consistent times, I think are going to fare better than those guys just going for outright pace.
We're going to see the slide here again, I think, because I'm on a replay. There is the slide. Okay, now I think we're back live, even though I hit the replay button. Okay, I think we're back live now. So Laszlo, is he in the pits? Nope, he's out there. He's got a white flag for some reason. White on the screen. So let's just talk about lap times here. So Jonathan has got fastest lap time by far, 2:03.7. Wow. Next guy down would be Derek at 2:04.5. So he's got almost 3/4 of a second on everybody else. Amazing. But
yeah, and that took place just on the last lap too. So he's finding his groove here, looking to make that move for the podium.
Yeah. Derek actually has a better best lap than Murche, so he's probably going to pick up some spots. It's nice to see Jonathan at the top of the board again. He's had a few. He didn't have the greatest last race, if I remember. Oh, look at that! Derek's all over the place. How much time have we got into the race here? We've got 37 minutes left. There's a long time to go yet. Hope everybody's not getting tired.
No, they are not tired. This is full focus stuff here. Steve Young is now making a few inroads here into Sylvain in 6.
He's got the closest gap right now.
Yeah, it looked like Panov on that last lap actually put in the second best lap time of the event so far. But it was only 3/1000ths better than Chris Moses on that last lap.
Mm-hmm.
And almost holding steady with Jonathan Wood there that last lap. But yeah, we'll see overall if that's going to pay dividends towards the end.
A lot of racing to come yet, huh?
Yeah, Jonathan looks strong, but it's so easy to make mistakes. I'm sure he's just being calm in the cockpit, just trying to hit his marks.
I don't know, Jonathan. My money's on Jonathan. He's pretty calm, cool, and collected. In this Cup car, he's the man.
Yeah, he's looking good, and
Steve's coming up
apparently he's the man. Six seconds out in front at the moment, right?
Yeah. Steve is right up on Sylvain. Even though Sylvain has a better best lap, quite a bit. Consistency, like you say, is the issue, not best laps. Great race. Glad to see 14 people on board here. And nobody's retired. That's great.
Yeah, like I said, I think everybody was really being calm and controlled there in the opening laps.
Oh, looks like Sylvain went off again. He with a big slide, but he held it. Didn't lose too much. Yeah, well, that's because Steve also has slides. See him correcting that.
Yeah, well, now that you mention the softs, I don't know if they are on the softs or wets. If they are on the wets, they're really going to start sliding around quite a bit here. Honestly, I don't know about the slicks, how they're going to perform. So,
No, GT3 is the right tire. It's the right tire. Yeah, I wish we could tell. Oh, he's really sliding. Maybe he is on slicks. Yeah, interesting. Well, of course, the Porsche Cup car is totally different than the GT in terms of what you need, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Ooh,
Here
Terry
we go.
Howard just went off. Let's go back 10 seconds to see that. No, just the throttle. Just the throttle did him in. Yeah, he's coming around that last corner.
Okay, and quick shout out there, a little more toward the back, but not so much as he was. Willie Owens now up into the 10th spot. He's running top 10.
Way to go, Willie. Just give him some time here. Look at that. Some quality time. There we go.
Yeah,
that's a
not
classic.
far.
That's a classic color for a Porsche too, isn't it? Yellow like that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and you know what? Willie's not too far off Krister also, so he's not a bad guy to hang with, Krister.
That's right. I think the closest gap here up at the front still Derek. Let's just go in his cockpit, see how he's doing with control. Just love watching the steering inputs of all these guys.
Yeah, it gives a good insight to how hard it is that they're working behind the wheel, especially in these types of conditions.
Some guys are just smooth. You can hear the tires too, eh? Just hear those tires complaining. Doesn't look like it's very wet right now. I don't see any little rooster tails off Mercedes' car. That's why I'm saying I don't think wets are the car to go to or the tire to be on. Oh, Krister just had a bit of an issue. Oh, must have just. And Willie passed him. Well, let's go back. Whoa, let's go back here and watch this. Krister, I'm with Krister. Should be replay mode, so I think something happens to Krister. And Willie went a little wide there. Yes, he did. Oh, did he stay in the wall? Oh, yeah, he did hit the wall. So Willie passes him. He's now in 9th place. Whew! Way to go, Willie.
Yeah, boy, that's going to be some damage to have to contend with, obviously, for Krister. We'll see how much that affects him, but it was a good wallop.
Yeah. Well, he's getting close to pit time. It's pit window probably anyway, so he might just go in. So still Derek is the one that's closest. Oh, he's right up on Mercedes' tail now. Let's go in his cockpit. If Merche had a little squiggle somewhere while we were watching Krister. This is. Oh, look at it! Derek's gonna make it move. He's got on the inside. Not quite gonna make it stick yet, but Merche's got to be feeling the heat.
Oh, he's feeling the heat, no doubt about it. Yeah, again, these Porsche Cup cars, great fun to drive. You can get them pretty balanced, but they can also tend to pick up some understeer. And I think Merche is having a lot of trouble really kind of pinning the nose at the apex.
Whoa, Derek was a little correction there. And when you're watching F1, if a driver does that, it's like, oh my God, almost lost.
Yeah, that's right.
We're doing that all the time in these cars.
Yeah, a lot of aero on those F1 cars. You can yaw them quite a bit, but just over the edge, and it's sayonara.
Yeah, that's right. Like a cup car almost, huh? Jonathan is just pulling away here. 8 seconds. Let's just go in Jonathan's cockpit for a while. You watch how smooth he is, I bet. But he is a master of this cup car. Always has been. I believe he is a reigning champion.
Yeah, as you watch that, I'm continuing to watch Steve Young fall a little bit off of Sylvain, so he's struggling a bit. Takes it very wide from turn one.
Oh, Merchant made a little bit of an issue there, I think, because Derek's going to try going around the outside. Not going to get on the outside. Is he going to be set up for the inside move here in this long, almost a 180, isn't it? It just takes, you're got a certain speed. Oh, no, this is the corner I'm thinking of. It just takes you forever to wait to get on that throttle coming around this corner. There you go. Steve Young.
Yeah, as you watch.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think you're going to mention that Young battle. Yeah, he just gave up that spot to Patrick.
He did, eh?
Steve Young really struggling.
Let's just go in his pocket, see what's going on.
You know, he had a problem in the GT3 race, I think, last week. He had his qualifying tires on to start the race.
Oh, right, I remember, yeah.
That happened again, but...
Patrick's got a little slide there. Saw some rubber on the... A little bit of rubber on the track. Just listen there, yeah, he's having a hard time. He's just skidding around those corners. What if we'll come in? It'd be time for some pit stops pretty soon, won't there?
Yeah, you'd think so.
I gotta turn the pit stop numbers on here. That's a mandatory pit stop. It should be showing in the tower now. Shortly. Yes. So that number. Whoa! Yeah, he's losing lots of time. Yeah, he's not going to catch him at that rate. He's going to have to wait till he gets a new set of tires. Go back to Derek. Yeah, so I'm showing the pit stops are next to the car number or the flag numbers there. I know about you guys in the stream. I didn't bother putting the. I took the race numbers off and put country flags instead. I don't know if we need the race numbers on the tower.
I have to say, watching that battle over the podium, Panov and Berg, that Panov has really done a pretty good job standing up to the pressure. Derek's really made quite a few serious attempts and has run very close a few opportunities, but he's hung up to the pressure very well under duress. He's been a little out of control a few times, but holding down that third spot nicely.
So we've got a couple people in the pits right now. Zimmer is not showing. Oh, it looks like somebody left. So that was. Somebody left the server. Zimmer's been in the pits for a while. I don't know if he's serving his pit stop or not. Krister did go into the pits and has served his pit stop, so I guess he went in there for repairs. Not sure if he's out on the track now. Yes, he is. So, oh, there goes Murche in the pit. So let's see if Derek is going to get an undercut here, because he has got some pace. He is going to be trying to get a great lap here to get ahead. He's not that far behind. Somebody coming out of the pits here. Chris Moses has been in. Has he served his pit stop?
I believe he has.
It's not showing yet, but definitely him that came out of that pit lane, wasn't it? Maybe that'll update.
Oh. No, I don't believe it was. I don't think Chris has come in for a stop yet.
Let's follow along with Bird here to see where he ends up. Coming out of when Murche comes out of the pits.
Yeah, and while you get that sorted, I'll give another shout out here to Laycock. Car 404 moved all the way up from DFL on the grid, moved up 4 positions up into that 10th spot. So nice run for him.
Just as you say it, he goes wide.
And
loses
great.
a position.
Oh no!
That's called announcer's curse, buddy. Announcer's curse, buddy.
You'll get it back.
Yeah, no, that's good. Still doing well. Actually, these are the two that are closest together right now. So lots of people in the pit. Patrick Larson, Steve Young's in the pit. Willie Owens is in the pit. So yeah, lots of people in the pits. Where are we at in time? We're exactly halfway through the race. So those guys obviously. See, Moses is not yet. No, he hasn't done his pit stop yet. And how much of a lead has Jonathan got now? 10 minutes. Showed yellow there for a second on Steve, so I just flipped over to him. And I'll just go down the leaderboard here. There is our leader, Jonathan Wood. Next is Chris Moses, just coming out of the pits now. or going into the pits, sorry. Derek Bird is just going into the pits. There is Thomas in that beautiful Martini livery. I love that livery. Sylvain Dessard. Terry Howard. Bob Laycock. Merche. Laycock just went off. Let's do a little replay of that. The other cameras. Oh, we just missed it. Just missed it. But that was an unforced error. And now who is right behind him? Merche is right behind him, coming out of pits. He's done his pit stop. Let's see if Laycock lets him by easily. Yeah, that's not the battle you want to be in. Where was I? Steve Young, Krister, Willie, and Randy Zimmer. There's a lot of different leaderboard there. Still going to be a little wonky until everybody serves their pit stops. Lots of people have. Bird is in the pits, and he's coming out. Let's see where he comes out compared to. Where's Bird? I'll find him on my board.
Oh, he is going to jump Merche. He is going to jump Merche in the pits.
He did. There's Merche right there. He did it. There we go.
So,
yep.
Yeah. Got the pass done. Didn't have to do it on track. So that was a great lap.
Yep.
Let's not forget, Merche did come in early. You'd think that those fresh tires would give him an advantage for a lap or two. But didn't work out this time.
Well, because the tires are so cold, you really have to put a lot of pressure in them, these slicks. So actually, your out lap is not that bad, actually, because you got very high pressure. Like on the GT3, my pressures are like 28, 29. Oop, there's somebody just went off. That was Bob Laycock again. He's having some trouble. Is he pitted yet, Laycock? No, he's probably going to have to pit soon. So Jonathan still has not pitted. He's got a hell of a lead, so I don't think he has to worry too much about his pit stop. Looks like Thomas is on the in the pits also. But yeah, Merche. Let's just look at Merche. He's cockpit to see how far ahead he is. Bird is from him. That is the gap that he gained on his pit stop. He's fighting those tires, isn't he?
Yep. Going to be doing it for about another 12, 13 laps.
So the only guy really that hasn't pitted in the top 5 is Jonathan.
Yeah, like you say, I guess, like, why would you?
I know.
You know, if it's feeling good for you out there, then go ahead and just stay in your rhythm and.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see what the lap times are looking at. Boy, last lap in 0.44, which is still best of any other lap from any other competitor. So not by much, but still pretty good.
Just noticed I didn't have the driver's name down on the right-hand side. There it is now.
Yeah, so we do see those gaps opening up a little bit as we had expected, but it's still a good race.
There, Jonathan is in the pits.
Yeah.
Get a good measure now on when he comes out. Look at how far ahead he is on Chris.
Yeah, still a race with the conditions and trying to keep the tires underneath you. It'll be interesting to see if Steve Young can hold better pace this second stint here. Maybe they did put on those qualifying tires or something.
Let's see how his handling is here. We're on with Steve Young and his steering input.
So it was, what was it, a 12 second?
Something like that, 11, 12.
Wood
Yep.
to Moses?
Yeah. Is Jonathan still in the pits?
I can't say this, having raced with Moses literally almost 2 decades now, that his second stint races are, he's usually stronger in the second
Is
stint.
that correct? Yeah, is that right? Huh?
Yeah. Usually gets it figured out, gets a rhythm going. Maybe make some of those tire pressure adjustments.
Jonathan coming out of the pits now. Let's see what his gap looks like. It's going to be about 11 seconds. It's still coming down here. It shows 16 seconds. They gained a little bit there, or that's what it was before. We weren't watching that carefully just before this pit stop. So everybody's kind of spread out now, isn't they? Merche here is the guy who's got the closest gap. That's only a minute, a second and a half. Now it's just going to be a matter of making mistakes, huh?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what most guys are kind of focusing on at this moment. Laycock is definitely within shouting distance of Larson. But by and large, yeah, these guys want to not make a mistake and throw it off track. Let's see, Willie Owens has slid back down to the bottom of the order, so he might have had a problem out there. But he turned a actually darn good lap. His best lap of 7.4. Pretty good relative to those guys who were around him. But it's hard, I think, for some of the guys not used to having tremendous pace. It's very easy to make that one or two mistakes during the race. I mean, shoot, Mike, you throw the car off track once and cost yourself the 20-25 seconds. Well, by the end of the race, that makes a difference.
Yeah, that's right. I'll just give everybody some screen time here.
They deserve it.
I'm going to put up the gaps to start here. The gaps to the positions. Let's see who's got the best. So Jonathan started in second, and Moses had the pole, but that has been flipped. Derek Bird was started in third. He is third. Ponoff and Rainier have each gained a spot on Sylvain Dessard, who's gone down 2. Larson and Young are even with what they started with. Krister's up 2 spots. Terry's up 2 spots. Zimmer's down 1. Laycock's up 2. And Willie is down 1. So pretty much qualification order mark. A little bit of a start. I mean, how long did it take Wood to come out, get out in the front? Was it a lap or 2?
Well, no, more or less right away. I can't. Was it? It might even have been in turn 1.
No, it wasn't turn 1. Well, sure, the battle was at turn 1, but I think it happened a couple of corners later.
Okay. Yeah, memory fades.
Okay. Yeah, everybody's pretty much lapping right now. Just hanging in, doing the best lap you can, not to make any mistakes.
Yeah, still fight over 12th now. Willie Owens is making a push back up through the field, trying to get that 12th position over Laycock.
Oh, great.
Battles in eSeniors, Mike. Wherever you are on the grid.
I did a midfield madness yesterday, and I confessed I was at the back with, as usual, with the Ferrari. And myself, and I think it was Patrick Larson, actually. Was it Patrick? I forget who it was. Anyway, we were at the back, so I was about half a second, maybe as much as a full second faster than him. So I actually let him pass me. And on here, Patrick went off. Let's just see what happened. Ooh, big off. I'm going to actually go back. See if he'll let me go back 30 seconds. We'll go back and see that in a minute. About 30 seconds here. See if we can catch what happened to him. Since that's the only excitement we have right now. Oh yeah, just he was on the curb and hit the throttle. Can't do that when it's a wet race. Yeah, just those curbs are slippery. That paint.
And some more body work to order from the Porsche factory race.
Owner's going to be pissed. Owner will be pissed. We're off replay now. Oh, Willie is in the pits. We missed something that happened to him. Let me go back 30
Oh,
seconds there.
boy.
I couldn't go back far enough. He had an issue, unfortunately. So that is actually going to be a replay mode for a second or two. As we do that, I'm on with Murche. Hit that curb pretty hard too. That is a bit in the past.
Yeah, we saw Derek Bird handing Murchak, obviously there in that first stint. So it did seem like Bird had a bit of pace, and I think he's proven it now. Pulling away ever so slightly. In fact, turning now a race best for Derek at 03.9. So very good lap, actually.
Yeah, so going back to my race yesterday, I actually let him pass me and just lift it off, and just so we could have some fun going back and forth I was practicing my passing, he was practicing his, and we had our own little race going on at the back.
That sounds great.
I actually apologize if he was insulted by me letting him go by for a bit, but I thought I had fun anyway. I hope he didn't get a DM from him. So.
Well, that's a good sign or a bad sign?
That's true. It's no. Oh, Terry just went. Something happened to Terry. Why is the camera not funny? Finding something? Let's just go back 30 seconds here and see what happened to Terry. I saw a yellow flag there. Come around the corners. I don't recognize it. He's on the curb there, and again, yeah, he just got unsettled. So that's the easiest thing to do in a Porsche Cup, that's for sure.
Yeah, they aren't too happy over curbs, and especially curbs that are wet, Mike.
Yeah, and when you lose the back end, it's pretty hard to get it back with all that weight in the back.
Oh, I think Thomas just had a oh no, it's just some connection problems here for Thomas, but he dove under the track and through the crowd there.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Chris is putting in good times. He's actually up on his pace this late in the game.
Yeah, like I say, not too surprising for Chris. Tends to pick up pace toward the end of the race.
Let's go back to race gaps here. Yeah, so everybody's running their own race now. 12 minutes left. Skill fatigue is certainly going to... Well, nobody's really pushing too hard, so I don't know if skill fatigue is going to come into play today.
Right. Yeah, like I say, I think it's just a question of concentrating on hitting those marks and making sure you don't throw it off track. A few guys still have, however. So positions subject to change. Shoot, Steve Young is not so far ahead of Krister that... behind Larson that Larson mistake can't get him up there. Sylvain also.
Yeah, Sylvain's not that far behind either. Well, there's a few gaps, 4 or 5 seconds. That's not much.
You're right. Yeah, well in touch with a mistake in front. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. But let's hope it doesn't happen.
Ooh, speaking of mistakes, Jonathan Wood last lap 2:08. So he had some
Thomas is off. Thomas is off. Let's see what happened to him. On the curb again. Those curbs are slippery, guys.
Jonathan Wood has come into the pits.
Oh, what is that about?
I saw a really bad lap for him, the prior lap. I don't know what's going on.
Did he have not enough gas? Maybe he didn't have enough gas.
Oh no.
Wouldn't that be awful, huh?
Disaster.
What is going on? Let's see if he comes out. Jonathan! Hope it's not his kidneys or his
Oh no.
That would be awful, wouldn't it? Oh, gotta get a bottle out there, Jonathan. Hopefully that's not something that he had to tend to at home.
Trying to switch my camera to you, see if we can see some.
There he goes, he's going again.
Like
I have a feeling that was
like
just
a 30-second stop. Yeah.
I have a feeling that he might not have had enough gas. Maybe he just did something on his pit stop and it didn't work. We'll have to find out later. I'm sure he'll go online and tell us what happened. But that is a shame. That is a shame. I was just about to go look at where he was in the standings. I will do that right now offline.
Yeah, well, while you do that, it's been quite a turn of events. So Chris Moses now goes out in front. Panov there in third place has got to be really excited to have an unexpected podium place at the moment. So, yeah, interesting, man. Steve.
Yeah, no, Chris is, or Jonathan, I should say, is not in the top 5. I don't want to go to SIMGRID, but I thought maybe he was in the top 5, but he isn't. Well, but, so he just passed Patrick Larson, actually. He's going to work his way up. How far back is he from Sylvain? He's got a lot of time to make up to get up to Sylvain.
Yeah, ain't happening.
No.
Unless Sylvain makes his own type of mistake.
Yeah. Oh, that's unfortunate. I hate to see that happen to somebody who's in the lead, right? But it happens.
Yeah, well, you know, from up here, it's unfortunate for us to see it, but if you're Chris Moses or anything else, you know, you'll take it, right?
Well, he's in 5th place, so that'll bump him up quite a bit. So where are we talking here? Bird is in 4th, and he's in 2nd now. Merche is leading. He's going to drop a few spots. And Sylvain's not in the top 5. So there's going to be a big change in the standings with this race, that's for sure.
Yeah, good point. Moses, I believe, was in 5th there, so if he holds on, that'll be a big jump up for him.
Yeah, that's a full 18 points. Just following along here with Thomas and Randy.
Yeah, as you do that, Renier actually has made some nice inroads to Zimmer now. That gap is just half a second between those two over 10th.
No, that's what we're watching right now. It's at 1.8. Zimmer's behind. Did he pass Zimmer?
I don't believe so. I think Zimmer has made up the ground.
Oh, okay. Looks like Thomas pulled ahead a little bit now, though he's up by 2 seconds.
Yeah, I think maybe my timing and scoring screen got a little.
But if you look at the leaderboard now, though, not a lot of they can see each other. Let's just take a peek here, cockpit-wise. Go on with Derek. Let's just see if he can see. He can see the leader. He can see. Oh, that's not Moses up ahead. That's a back marker. He is only 5 seconds behind. And can Merche see? It's better when you can actually see the guy you're racing. You'll be able to see him on the straight, I'm sure. Let's just watch around the corner. Yes, that is Bird up ahead. Merche can taste it. He can taste it.
He's been hanging tough. Yeah, Derek Bird I think does have pretty good pace, but he's been hanging tough after getting behind on that pit stop.
So Derek has got Patrick Larson between him and the podium. Patrick's going to let him go by in a minute, but can you see Chris? Orange car he's going to see in the horizon is Chris. In a second there he's going to let him by. There is Chris up ahead, so he can taste it.
Boy, and looking at that timing and scoring, actually, there was I think maybe a bit of a mistake for Derek Bird there. Merche did manage to gain a whole second there on the last lap.
Did he? Let me look. I can see that too. Yes, he did. Full second. 2:04.7 for Merche and 2:05.6 for Bird. And Chris Moses' last lap was 2:05.7. So Derek's holding pace with Chris. Where is Jonathan? Jonathan is not making too many inroads on Soleil. His last lap. Whoa, yes he is. Jonathan's last lap was 2:04, whereas Sylvain's was 2:06. I can actually show you that on the screen. Just watch this fanciness here. Jonathan. Double click Sylvain. And there you go. There on the screen is the last laps. Isn't that fancy? I'll just leave that up there for now.
What production.
Yes.
Incredible.
Production value. In the biz, we call that production value.
Yeah, well, Jonathan Wood, no surprise. He's has been the class of the field, so he's going to pick up some time. Too little, too late.
Yeah, he's only got 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah,
pick
barring any
somebody.
type of
Window is closing now.
Let's just pick somebody else. Now, Derek lost time to Murche. Here's Derek and Murche's last laps up there. So it's not that big a
Boys.
gap.
Yeah, and as you watch that, I'm just looking through time and scoring here. Rainier, 05 flat, kind of out of nowhere. Hell of a lap.
Who is that?
That is Rainier.
Oh,
in
wow.
10.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're on board with Murche here. Take a quick peek at the comments here. See if there's anything going on. How about driver of the day, guys, on the stream? We've got 14 people watching. Wow, look at that! A huge audience, huge. I'm nervous now.
Let's see, driver of the day. Boy, that's really changed over the course of this race, hasn't it?
Let me go to Deltas here. That is our Deltas.
You know, I think if I might have to pick one, I might have to go with Derek Bird. I think, looking throughout the field, I think, well, aside from Jonathan Wood, of course, he's been the most consistent out there. I suspected that would pay dividends. And for Derek Bird, though, he started pretty high up. He has remained the most consistent out of those top 5. Even Chris Moses, pretty shaky there in the opening laps.
You know, Jonathan's got such. Oh, look at this. The best lap is Jonathan still, 2:03.545. What? But Derek is 2:03.9, so he's only like 0.3 of a second back on the. Ooh, Murchie's over all the curves there. He's only 0.3 of a second back on the best lap. So, you know, Jonathan was doing so well. So if he didn't have a Ferrari pit crew with his strategy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I have a feeling he just had some gas problems.
It looked like it, didn't it? Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go set up my.
Boy, if you aren't practiced when those types of mistakes happen, if you realize you're going to run out of fuel, if you aren't practiced running through the menus when you're on track, that can really cost you a bit of time and consternation out there. I don't have the best wheel for navigating menus on track. It's a real problem for me.
Yeah, I just started practicing that myself, and you really gotta have. I did it on the pit straight on the way in, so that's not so bad. But if you're trying to do it on while you're racing, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, well, coming down to it, Mike, huh? It's actually, despite the gaps opening up, it's been a pretty damn interesting race, I would say. Pretty much all the way throughout with some late mistakes, early action.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was a pretty good race. Yeah, it was a pretty good race. You never know what these Porsche Cups that end up being like this, where everybody's just riding their own race.
Yeah,
At a certain point. Just gonna put our podium. This usually is the time when I jinx somebody by putting on their names on the podium. Graphic.
Boy, I guess I have to give a shout out to Krister, looking through the order pylon here. You know, he had gotten back there 10th, 11th, 12th.
Yeah.
But running 8th, if he holds that, that's going to be a good finishing position, kind of from where he was at.
As you talk, though, he
Okay,
just lost the
leaders on the
position.
final lap now.
Yeah,
Give it
well,
what you can.
you know, that's
It's like the final lap here. Yeah, I'm just getting the podium ready, podium graphic ready. This was the second last race. Ready now? Me too. Alright, who are we following on here? We're still following Porsche or Merche. We're on the last lap, so let's just go to the podium here. We get a good view of Chris Moses. There's our leader. He is halfway through the lap, and he's running into a little bit of traffic. 2 orange cars on the screen there. That must be Zimmer. There's Derek Bird, 6 seconds back, and Merche, 6 seconds back of him. So we'll follow Chris here through his last lap. There's Zimmer going off. Let him by.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Moses has enough of a lead. Stay on that lead lap. I guess there was still quite a bit of lap left. But see, that's something just insight. That's something Moses would understand. Get held up a little bit, maybe the last couple of corners. Well, no big deal. You have enough of a lead, right? And he's going to understand the guy doesn't want to go a lap down and back off a little bit. But yeah, half a lap might be a little bit too much time there.
And here he comes down the straight. Let's see if we get a little flash. There we go, flash. There is our winner, Chris Moses. Next is Derek Bird coming around. Let's see if we get a flash from him. No flash. And Merche in 3rd place. Sylvain Dessard in 4th. It's got a ways to go because these guys are up by 26 seconds on 4th place, that leaderboard. I'll take a peek here and let's watch him, and I'll see if I'm gonna grab Derek. And who else do I need? Chris. Is Chris in the... Not yet. Just hang on there, Derek.
Yep. Okay.
And Mitch is not there yet either. Let's see if they can come back on. Just watching the last half. There's Sylvain giving us a bit of a giving us a few donuts. There's Wood. Patrick just going over. Patrick did pretty good in this race. Steve Young in 7th. Terry Howard. Got a ways to go yet. It's being lapped. Hey, Thomas. There's Terry Howard. Yes, there. Krista is in 10th place. So we are going to go off onto. Let's see if I can find. There's Merche. I'm going to bring him in. And. Geez, we should bring Jonathan in for fun. Let's see Moses. Jonathan. Let's just quickly jump with Jonathan here. Jonathan, what happened? What happened? What happened? Can you hear me, Jonathan?
Yeah, I can hear you. You shouldn't be interviewing me.
I don't want to interview. Just want to hear what happened. What happened to that race? You had it in the bag.
Yeah, I was walking away with it, and I don't know. It was kind of strange, but I guess I did not have the change tire toggled in my setup, and it was kind of weird because I've been using the same setup all week, and the last 2 nights I've done like whole race sims with a pit stop, and I haven't had to touch that. So I don't know. It's kind of just disappointing, but whatever.
It was a fun race. It was a fun race.
It's all good. Yeah.
All right.
First couple of corners were amazing.
Yeah.
That side-by-side racing with Chris was just freaking awesome. We looked after each other, and it was great.
Okay, get off the podium. Yeah, I'm going to kick you out here. You're not on the podium. You don't deserve to talk. All right, let's start with Merche. Merche, how was your race?
It was a good, difficult race. I was on dry tires. I didn't know what to choose, dry or wet. I choose dry tires.
Yeah. Wasn't that slippery though? In terms of being wet, it was crazy slippery. I was expecting a lot more for the Porsche Cup.
Yes, it was slippery. It was hard to drive. I done stupid mistake during the warm-up lap. I had damage.
Oh,
3 seconds, and that's why I lost in pit.
Oh, we wondered what happened there, yeah?
That happened.
Yeah, because Derek
I
got you.
wanted to warm up the tires.
Yeah, Derek, yeah, that's where you passed Murchie. You would have passed him anyway, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But you got
I
a
don't
little
know,
bit of an
pretty
advantage
quick.
there. Yeah, you got a bit of an advantage over him on pit stop.
Yeah. Look, I got by him in pit stop. I say it must have been repairing that damage. What slowed him down?
Yeah.
Brake rotor's blowing. Oops.
But it was pretty quick then if he was on slicks. He had some pace.
Yeah. And Chris, congratulations, nice podium.
Thank you very much.
Tell us
Yeah, it
about
was,
your race. Tell us you were on slicks too, I'm sure.
Yeah, I did slicks, and it was kind of in between, to be honest.
Were you?
And
Yeah.
it was. I'll put it this way: it was liberating to drive on slicks because you could drive the car hard, but it was very hard to drive, and scared the shit out of me. It just wasn't quite dry enough for the slicks.
Did you try the wets in practice mode?
Yeah, and
what did you see?
You definitely. Before the race, I made the decision because the more cars you have on the track, the more the line dries.
Yeah.
So I was overheating the tires bad in qualifying, so I was like, gotta go with the slicks.
And Derek,
Derek,
you were on slicks also, right?
I'm gonna say Derek was on wets.
No, I was on wets.
Were you?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
on wets. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like the first 2 or 3 laps, the wets are much quicker, but then it kind of equals out, and then it's kind of maybe a little bit better on the. But Mr. Wood proved that wrong. He was just kept pulling away from me. I had nothing for him.
He was awesome as usual. Really, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He is I called him the old alien today.
Yeah, I was.
Or ancient
saying on the
alien.
stream.
That's what his name's going to be. Ancient alien. That's what it is.
So I'm going lap 4. We're going to have equal pace, and then by lap 5 and 6, I'm going to start closing in on him slowly.
Yeah.
And we did have equal pace, but then he just kept he just kept his pace and kept getting quicker and quicker.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't have the driving style and the patience to really baby the rear tire, so I just went for the slicks and
It was a
slid
great.
around
It was a great couple of first laps. There was a lot of battles going on back and forth.
Yeah, I had a decision to make there on the first lap whether to try to hold him up or not, and I knew he was on the wets, and I visually could see the.
Can you
you
see
can
it?
visually see like the tire.
You
yeah,
can,
you can see
hey?
there's a little edge to the side of the tire.
Oh,
you can see it.
But you're right.
It's like a white.
The track did dry up. There weren't hardly any rooster tails in the tires by the end of the race. We were noticing.
Yeah, but actually the track did get a little bit more wet towards the end. I think it's because some guys weren't running anymore. Got down to 10 or 11 or 12 maybe max on the track.
Well, we only had one disconnect. But don't forget the rain was variable, so slightly. So it was raining a little bit more and a little bit less here and there on the 50 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, it was definitely just a little touch wetter the last few laps because I could feel it.
Anything else, Derek? You really want to say? How are you doing?
Well, I said a bit of change in the track. I did a practice race the other day. I did 30 minutes on the set of wets, and the tyres were still good at the end. Whereas today, end of that last stint, was totally gone. That last lap I was sliding about. After 20 minutes, the tyres were gone. Whereas the other day, they lasted 30 minutes, easy. I was still doing decent lap time, so so much changed. Track conditions or so much has changed.
Could have been because you had more cars,
Possibly, yeah.
Murchie, go ahead.
I assume Mr. Wood didn't change the tires and they had to go back in. Is that what happened?
That's what happened.
Yeah.
We were.
I'm not exactly sure why, by the way.
I think when you're on wets,
still good, right?
Yeah. Well, that's part of the requirements. You have to change.
Yeah. No, you have to change. Yeah, that's right. It was a mandatory change. That's why I had to go in.
It would have disqualified him. Yeah.
That or fuel. Couldn't figure out what it was.
But I think sometimes it defaults to turn it off when you're on wets. So maybe that's what happened.
I didn't ask him whether he was on wets or not. Murchie, anything else to say? How's anything else to add to that? All those comments?
No.
Well, this is
just a great race. I expect a great season.
Yes. So with this,
it's going to be close.
With this podium, it shakes up the standings a little bit, guys. So it's going to be very close. Well, it was a great race. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Thank you, Brad, for helping me out. And we'll see you guys all again next week.
Right. Thank you, guys. Great race.
Thanks, Mike.
Cheers. Bye.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.